Hello and welcome to our keg chat. And this is our sort of, I say monthly.
The last one was over a month ago. Let's go with
exactly.
that. It's our regular, well...
We do it every now and again. These are just our little videos to keep you updated with the channel. So with me, Sophie.
And me, Alex.
And we unfortunately don't have Dan with us today. But yeah, this is a channel where we just sit and chat about what we've got coming up, how we're getting on. As mentioned previously, these videos are sort of, we try and put out a video once a week, but occasionally with our busy schedules, it doesn't quite happen. So these are little bits keeping you happy viewers, letting you know what's coming up.
So where do you want to start, Sophie?
So let's start with Titanicus.
Okay.
Titanicus. So we ran an event fairly recently, September. This is almost 2 months ago.
We ran an event recently, let's go with that.
Yeah. So we had a lovely little group of players, generally from the local area, and that was nice. And it was nice to run a good Titanicus event. We had some great lists. We had some very new players. We had some very new players who did very well.
We had some very seasoned players. Really good time. Thank you to everyone who turned up. As always, it's beautiful to see everyone's hobby. The stand of Titanicus is great. We'll have a photo. We took a photo of everyone's battle groups combined in a row, and makes me want to run some sort of apocalypse game or something like that, just to get that spectacle. All the players are great. Lovely to meet all of you. As far as I can tell, they all had a good time as well.
Yes.
Or at least they told us that to our faces.
Yes. So either very nice people or very good liars.
Yes.
Or both.
I'll take either, to be honest. Don't really care. Just, if you are lying, never tell me, and I'm happy. Really good time.
Yeah.
Looking forward to doing it again. We'll probably run one some point in early next year, maybe. We probably need to figure out some dates, but obviously, as soon as we know, you'll know.
Yes. Absolutely. We'll bang on about it for a few months, at the very least. So, and it's always nice to sit and chat with people in the hobby, and that goes for us. You know, if you know our videos and you see us in a hobby store or wherever, come up and say hi.
We will look petrified and wonder why you're talking to us, but then we'll realise and go, yes, okay. And then we'll happily talk about Void Shields or whatever, for as long as you want to.
Yes. More Titanicus stuff. So we do have Beachhead.
Yes.
Coming up. So Beachhead is in February, and this is a 1750. We nabbed the last ticket.
Fashionably late.
Yeah, fashionably late. So unfortunately, there are no tickets available for that. So it's very mocking of me. There are no tickets left for that, but we are looking forward to seeing all you lovely Titanicus people there. And so on the channel coming up, we will be practicing 1750 and 2,000 point lists.
You can see a training montage of us just lifting warlords, headbands, memorising ranges, and guesstimating distances as well, no tape measure, etc., etc. Yeah.
8 inches.
No! Do it again! Very, very hard approach to training.
Yeah.
But also more games.
Yeah. You might see some list ideas that you might not think are great, and they'll turn out to be fantastic. You might see some list ideas
that sound great on paper, and you watch us pilot them and go, how did they... That's not a melee list.
Oh, this is what... Yeah, so that's... we've got a Titanicus game coming up soon. I've finished painting, finally finished painting one of my final Night Acheron. So I'm running Ignis Maniples, so expect to see some Ignis fiery goodness on the channel. And yes,
I've done nothing with Titanicus. So I've finished it, completed it, mate. At the moment, everything I have is painted, other than like a pile of weapons in a drawer somewhere that I'll get around to eventually.
Yeah, I mean, you've been umming and ahhing about night houses.
I want to give it a go, just as always. I have so much hobby to do. We'll get onto that shortly as to why there's so much to do. But at some point, I'd love to get into knights, try my hand at them, do some more of House... What are they again? Taranis, I think? Taranis, that's what I said.
Actually, I'm correcting you on a made-up word.
Yeah, that you've only ever read. Taranis, I think you find.
Oh, okay, that's very good.
I will paint some more Titanicus at some point. Dan has... What's Dan got on the bench at the moment, Titanicus-wise?
Well, he's
He's been working on nights, sort of.
yeah.
We'll come back to that.
Yeah, we'll come back to those nights.
Yeah.
Those nights.
Those nights.
So yeah, that's all we've got coming up for Titanicus. However, another game close to our hearts is, of course, Battlefleet Gothic. Alex has been incredibly busy painting up. I have been incredibly busy thinking about painting up my fleet.
I ran the numbers. I have painted 154 Nebula bases for our gaming group.
Have you?
Yes, because I paint all the bases for everyone. And I organise them being late. That's not true. A friend laser cuts them for us. But I nag the friend. And I paint all the terrain because I want more people to play the game. Speaking of, paint your bloody ships. So.
Yes, I'm getting round to
It'll take you like an evening.
I'm getting round to it. Well, it'll take me 2 evenings.
Okay, fine. I've painted a battleship,
Yes,
which
and it
will be
looks
appearing on the channel at some point.
very pretty.
Thank you. I'm very happy. The colour scheme works nicely. Obviously, classic Heresy era World Eaters. Painted some terrain as well, or not terrain. Sorry, all the defences like the Ramillies Star Fort, a pair of docking rings, some mines, orbital defence platforms. Done a fleet of transports so we can play the various raid missions. So we are now fully armed and operational. We can run any game in the book. I just need people to paint their fleets.
Okay, I will get round to it. But yes, please, we will be expecting more Battlefleet Gothic on the channel. 40k then. You've been busy with some 40k.
Yeah, you may have already seen some battle reports go up for this, but I have finished my night collection, technically. I recently painted, or converted and painted, a pair of night war dogs, which are war dog pattern night war dogs. They've got 4 legs.
Yes.
There'll be a photo of them on the screen somewhere.
I'm looking at them now.
Yeah. Really happy with how they came out. It's probably one of my best conversions. And I also painted my, what are you called again? My Night Abominant, who is stomping some guardsmen into paste. Yes. Or it's my guardsman sergeant on his display base, depending on what army I'm playing. And they're fully magnetized so they can run any of the options. So I could use some more war dogs, but other than that, I've got a full... That tickled you, didn't it?
When you said fully magnetised, I was like, yes, so the sergeant could run a las pistol, a bolt pistol.
So yeah, I can in theory run basically most Chaos Knight lists, but except for the Warlock spam ones. So that's a good time. Have you painted any 40k lately? I think your attention been on other things that we'll get
My
to.
attention has been on other things. However, I do have some more orcs in the works.
Yes.
So I have got some more speed freaks. I've got some death dreads.
You've done your mega boss, haven't you?
Oh, I might have, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, he's been. Oh, yeah, actually.
Yeah. There we go. You painted a 40k model.
Yes, mega.
Doing your part.
Yes, so he is the bright red mega armored war boss.
And then Dan decided to one-up me in terms of knights.
Yes.
I said, oh, I've painted 3 knights this month. And Dan then got a second-hand entire knight collection and painted all of them in 2 evenings.
Yes.
So
he was going so crazy. I think he was recovering from a horrible flu.
Yeah, so in some sort of fever dream, inhaling the paint from his airbrush, he now has a full, basically mirror of my collection. He's got, I think, 4 armigers, a Castellan, 3 big knights, painted in, what are they called again?
They are house. They are technically House beige.
Tan.
Taupe. They are the House Malanax.
That's the one.
House Malanax.
Probably.
Yes. So they are painted in House Malanax, even though they are loyalist.
Yeah. The model, he's not done any corruptions or anything, but what this means is for our channel, we now have an Imperial Knights army, and for Heresy, which we'll go into more depth on shortly, obviously he's got a House Malanax traitor Knight Lance, which will be exciting to see on the channel.
Especially allied with Mechanicum. Do you want to talk about Heresy?
We can go to Heresy. Do you want to do AOS first?
Oh,
and then
yes.
We'll come back to Heresy.
AOS. So I have been painting up my Tzeentch. Disciples of Tzeentch. I've got the new book, and I've been tinkering with lists, and they have been painted up gradually. This Gaunt Summoner was one of my latest ones, and it's one of those things where you think, oh, I'm just going to do the eyes on this model. However, a Tzeentch model has so many eyes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I count 15, 16 eyes on this model.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. And that's just...
I see. Thank you. There we go. Thank you. You're going back now. Yeah, it looks very cool. I love the colour scheme. Looks really nice on tabletop. And some nice blending as well.
Yeah,
You've been pushing yourself with your painting a bit, actually, haven't you, this year?
I've been upping my game. So that's what I've been painting with Age of Sigmar. Now, your Lumineth.
Done at time of... Well, again, everything I own is done. Of course I want more. I always want more. But I think since the last one, I've done... this was when I did 5 Dawn Riders, 10 Wardens, and a Ballista in the same batch, and went into my own little fever dream, like Dan. It's kind of a thing for our channel. It was no more efficient than painting them individually, because the psychological damage meant it took longer than it needed to.
Yes.
Anyway, they're done. So at time of recording, all my Lumineth models are finished. Just in time for the new Battle Tome to make me go, oh, I now want all these things too.
Move!
Yes, it's time for me to move on, is what I was going to say, but you got there first.
Move!
I'll be getting some of the Battle Cattle, the Power Cows, whatever they're called, at some point soon. Again, other things on the plate at the moment, but I do want to be able to run basically any list eventually.
Yeah. So with my Tzeentch, I've been painting up horrors. You may have noticed I don't run horrors at the minute, and they are a good unit. The reason is you need to paint 50 of them before you can even think about running them.
Because they split, don't they?
Because they split, and then they split again. So it's not really worth me running a unit of 10 blue horrors.
If you don't have to be able to do pink horrors and brimstone horrors.
Yeah. So I have the models. They have been painted up, and on my number of models painted this year, I'm hoping for them to shoot up. I actually have next to me the brimstone horrors, and they are unpainted. It's one of the first unpainted models on the channel.
We'll censor it. It's fine.
Yeah, see this little grey square.
But come on, that'll take you no time at all.
Tiny. Look at them. They're so sweet. Oh.
If you're allowed to count that as a finished model, I'm allowed to count my Battlefleet Gothic Ordnance markers for my spreadsheet of what I've worked on this year.
You do?
I do, yes, but people then take the piss out of me.
This model has 4 eyes. That's so many eyes. Yeah, so Tzeentch, expect more Tzeentch coming. Lumineth.
Expect more Lumineth coming.
Yeah, moo. Then on to the big behind-the-scenes workshop.
You've probably noticed we've not done any Horus Heresy games this edition so far.
And this pains my heart, as it is a wonderful game that I have thoroughly enjoyed playing off camera. We are busy. We are busy painting. I've got my Imperial Fists. I think I managed a Contemptor in one day. I was just hungover on Discord. Takeaway, it's done. So they are a little bit quick to paint up. We will be doing some smaller games with them. But I've not just been painting Imperial Fists.
Oh yeah, you finished, what was it again? Your Storm Eagle.
My lump of resin.
Yes, the brick.
The flying brick. So the Storm Eagle was a huge project for me, and I am very pleased with how it looks. In fact, I think it's one of those, it's aged well. You know when you first finish it and think, oh, could I do more? And then you just go, no, I'm going to put it down, it's done. Because it's stuff like bottom, it's the bottom of the battleship. And so, but then as it's kind of sat on my desk, I've gone, oh yeah, that does look good.
So hang on, are you telling me you didn't paint the inside of it?
No, I glued it shut. So yes, I did.
That's the real heresy. The real heresy was inside the Storm Eagle.
No, I painted the inside. You'll just never see it.
Okay, well, I'll just have to take your word then. It's some lovely object source lighting. You've done really well, I assume.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's best things so far.
The parts that I can see look very good.
Thank you.
Again, there'll be a picture somewhere on screen.
Yeah, and very much looking forward to running that because it's a silly unit and having it shot down by a Derrideo. It's just what they do.
They can look beautiful in the dead pile.
Yes. Your Heresy.
Yes.
We're starting to see these Space Wolves really come to life. The Valka Federica.
Yes, we are up to 22 2 models painted so far. So I've done 20 Grey Slayers, 10 regular Mark IIIs, and then 10 basically bullying the resin kit into working with the Mark VIs, which kind of worked. There are a few are a little bit janky, but on the whole I think they worked okay. I'm happy with them. I think the colour schemes really worked. They stand out. The battle damage was fun to do, so very much looking forward to showing them off. I've painted... Sophie's not really listening because there's a cat here, I can tell.
Horace has come to say hi.
I've painted Gygor Fellhand, I think his name is. Rescue model from eBay. It's a little bit of damage to it, but the paint job's come out quite well. And I've got another, just a Grey Stalker lying around. I've built some more to work on, so once I finish the current projects, I'll get back to work on them. And should be having a game by Christmas, probably.
Actually, I mean, the Christmas isn't that far away.
Actually, it isn't, is it? Next hobby chat, I'll probably be saying how my game went.
Yeah.
Um,
You've done the backwards thing of what a lot of people do is build.
I'm eating my greens before I have my dessert.
Yes, that's exactly it. So a lot of people will paint their tactical marines maybe after a run. What's the Rite of War? Pride of the Legion. That's it, where you can take sort of Terminators as your troops.
Okay.
And that way you build up your troops very easily, and then you sort of eat your greens. But now you've taken your cheap troops.
I am chewing on this spinach for hours, and it's lost all taste.
Yeah.
It's congealed. I say that, they're not that bad to paint.
No, they've come out really nice. I really like what you've done with these marines.
Thank you.
And also the war paint, the bear heads,
Yes.
very true to the law.
Yes, not a wolf helm in sight, I will have you know. And that is the way it's going to remain. Stupid model. I know you like them, but you're wrong.
I don't like them.
You're trying to find a use for them.
That's it.
You're starting with, I want to be contrary, and then trying to find a way to make these stupid wolf helms.
I tell you what, I'm trying to really come to the philosophical position of why they exist. And I'm struggling.
Taste, or a lack thereof.
Yeah, and it's...
Some 40k sculptor snuck into the 30k studio and was left unattended. I don't know.
Could you use them as a small warhound head?
Yeah, no. If you're playing Gothic, maybe, yeah.
Could you use the warhound heads on your...
On a Contemptor? No, still, but interesting idea.
On a Contemptor this might work.
No, the Contemptor head's like the size... Well, the Contemptor head's the size of a Terminator head.
Oh, well, it might work.
No, it won't work.
It could.
It's a stupid idea.
Try it at home, folks.
Don't try it. These bits are bad. Do not buy them.
I'd be interested to see how it goes. Interested as, you know...
Interested enough to buy them?
I don't play Space Wolves.
Okay. Interested enough to have me buy them?
But, no, actually.
I'm going to get 5 stupid Space Wolf helms as a Christmas present, aren't I? And I'll feel guilt-tripped into using them.
I'd just be interested to see what you could use them.
If I file all the detail off, they could be used
No,
as
but I was saying you could use a Warhound head on your Dreadnought.
That's too big.
You could chop it down a bit.
It's also obviously a Warhound head.
It's wolfy.
But it looks like a Warhound head.
I'm spitballing ideas here, folks.
Stop it, they're bad ideas.
Emphasis on spit.
Heresy is a work in progress. I don't know, what do you think what points do I have to get to, do you think, before it's worth filming a game?
1500, I think, would be a nice...
Oh, buddy. Then we've got a way to go.
Yeah, but you'll pick up a vehicle, or you'll pick up a Terminator. Your Vargear Terminators will be like, oh, I'm only on 600, and then you'll just finish 10 Terminators and be like, I'm on 2000. It's Heresy.
Yeah, true.
Okay, it's slight hyperbole, but you get me.
Yeah.
And when you've got your 4th Contemptor Dreadnought...
I've always liked the lore of Contemptor.
I get it. Ridiculous Contemptor Dreadnoughts. Why won't you blow up? So yeah, that's a little while away.
But now that the Mechanicum book is out,
yes,
Dan can actually play. Dan's Dark Angels are a work in progress as well.
Absolutely.
They're about neck and neck with my Space Wolves, I think.
Yeah, he's not eaten his greens.
No, he's
first.
doing dessert first.
Yes.
He's done a.
He's got a Praetor, Spartan, Praetor, and 10 Terminators. It's 5 or 10 Terminators.
He will then be down to 40 tacticals, and I shall laugh in his face.
Yes.
But yeah, in terms of points and overall progress, we're about neck and neck. Neither of us really able to play yet, but of course, Mechanicum now have rules.
Yes.
And the knights he's just acquired and painted have rules.
Yes.
So if we can get him and you in the same room, this room, my room, so I have to be there too, not even you have supervised, we'll have some Heresy on the channel at some point soon.
Yes, it is coming, folks. Be patient with us. And on that note, I think that is everything we have been working on since the last hobby update.
I think it is.
Plans for new stuff. I think we've all got such a backlog at the minute. It is...
My models painted this year has just exceeded my remaining backlog. I like to keep track. But yes, I do have a massive backlog.
Honestly, spreadsheets for your hobby, folks.
Yeah, big and clever.
You can't have fun with that spreadsheet.
Yeah.
It's science.
So in terms of new stuff coming, there are no new armies on the horizon really, are there? So it's all adding to our existing collections. That said, we do have a standing offer from one friend to lend us his Gothic fleets. He's actually now got a Navy fleet as well as a Marine fleet.
We will be having guests on the channel.
Yes.
So we've had a friend, Gareth, who you've seen before.
He's bought Sons of Bahamut, he's bought Sisters of Battle, Tau we haven't had yet, but he's got them.
He's got them on so we'll see some Tau on the channel, and he also has the Leagues of Votan.
Oh, he does, yes.
Which are probably way off. They're being honest, they're probably way off.
God for that. I kid. I'm willing to play them.
But we do have more guests coming up on the channel. We're going to try and spice up the Legios.
Yeah, we had Dougie recently. Brought along his... again, thank you, Dougie, if you're watching. That was really appreciated.
Thank you, those were great. I sat and watched those, and those were fantastic. Yeah. So we will have to get you back on the channel again at some point.
To play Sophie.
Yes. And you can come and face the knights and squash them.
Yes, please do. Yeah. Please.
In fact, Dougie beat me up last time we played at Emergency Shutdown, so I will be seeking revenge. Yes, so we will again have lots of guests on the channel, which we
across the various games we play.
Yes, absolutely. Right, that's all from me.
That's all from me, I think, too.
In which case, that's all from the barrel. See you next time, folks.
Goodbye.